Hi, how are you today? This is Auntie Nat's Crochet. Glad you choose this tutorial video. Do subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is at this corner over here. It will mean a lot to me. I have hundreds of videos, so do check them out. And today I'm going to make some daisy. 2 sizes of daisy. This is considered the smaller one and this is the bigger one. Just a slight difference, and you can make in this kind of multiple color of daisy, very colorful. So I'm going to use the yellow color as the core, and petal you can use other than yellow. If both yellow, then you might not be able to see the core of the flower. And I'm using cotton yarn. And besides the daisy, I'm also going to make some leaves. That's these small leaves for the daisy, maybe 1 or 2 leaves for each daisy. And these are 5-ply cotton yarn, and I'm going to use 3.5 mm hook. Okay, so I'm going to start by making the daisy first. Okay, now I'm going to make the core of the flower, the yellow part. I'm going to make the small one first. This is for the small daisy. You make a magic circle, make a knot, and you do 6 single crochet into the ring. Six single crochet into the magic circle or magic ring. And since this is a smaller flower, next row just continue to do single crochet all around. No increase, no decrease. We have 6, we started with 6, and now we do single crochet all around. So by right we should have 6 stitches, but I end here and I'm going to tie a knot to the back. Just fold it like this. I'm going to tie a knot to the back. And all this I can leave it inside the flower, the core of the flower later. But now it's kind of difficult to hold them in. Oh yeah, it stays there. And here, because of this knot here, it looks like there's one more stitch here. So from here to here it's 6, and there's a half one here. So that's why the small flower I did 7 petals, because I find that 7 petals makes it like there's no big gap between the last and the first if I make 6. So I made 7 petals. So up to you whether you want to make 6 or 7. So I made 6. This is this size. Oops, sorry. This is the core for the small one. Now let's make the core for the bigger one. Because the petal is the same, it's just the middle part that is slightly different. Same thing, you're gonna make a magic circle. You make a knot. Same thing, you're gonna do 6 single crochet into the ring. Okay, 6 single crochet into the ring. This time round I have to do increase in row 2, which makes the flower slightly bigger. Just now it's 1, now it's the second one. So 2 single crochet into the same stitch. This is called an increase. So we're gonna increase all the way. So we started with 6 and we did increase this row, which means from here until here I'll have 12 stitches, and the last row is going to be single crochet all around. Same thing here. I'm gonna cut the yarn. And I want to tie a knot. As for the bigger one, I did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I did 12. I did only 12 petals because it's kind of big. If I do 13, it will look like quite a lot. So can you see there's a small gap here? Just like the one I told you there. That's why the smaller one I did 7 petals. Here, up to you whether you want to do 13 or just 12. So for the bigger one I did 12. You want, you can do 13. Or here, this small gap here, it's not really that noticeable because there's so many petals. Whereas the smaller one, you will notice because there's only that few. So if suddenly the gap between the flowers on one side is just too big, means, you know, it means you did 6 and one side the gap will be bigger. So this is up to you whether you want to do 13 petals or 12. Because once you sew it onto a bag, or you just leave it like this, or you can make the green part and put a stick, it is still not noticeable. Worst come to worst, you can add a leaf here. There. Then you won't see that gap there. Okay, now we're going to do the petal. Okay, you make one exactly the same as this one. So if this is a big one, the big core, you do one exactly the same. If you have a smaller one, you also do one exactly the same as this, the same pattern. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove my hook. So it's gonna look like this, and all this I'm gonna hide inside the petal later on. Petal, sorry, I'm gonna hide inside the core. Okay, now this is the back. Let the back and the back go together. And so now you can see it looks as if this is bigger than this, but if I push it down, it looks the same. It is exactly the same. So I want it to kind of pop up like this. So in the yellow part here, just go to any of the stitch. Make sure it's a back to back. The front is here and the front is here. Get this yarn over. Oops. And let me get that first. Okay, this yarn, this purple yarn, bring it over to the yellow. So it's gonna look like this. This is the front and this is the front. And here I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And chain 8. And I'm going to work on the hem side here. You see a V shape here. I turn to the back. This is a hem side. You can either count from here to here, the 3rd stitch, or you can count from here to here, the 4th stitch. I prefer to count from the back, it's easier. I mean, especially for beginners, if you can't see which is your 2nd stitch or 3rd stitch, so you just count from the back here. You yarn over, because we're going to start with a double crochet. You yarn over, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th one here, you do a double crochet. You yarn over again, another double crochet in the next. You yarn over, and now this time on the 2nd last here, I'm going to do a half double crochet. And the last stitch here, I'm going to do a single crochet. Oops. Going to do a single crochet. Go back to the same stitch here. Go back to the same stitch and do a slip stitch. So this is one petal. Hide all this inside. So this is one petal, and now I will go to the next stitch, here to the next stitch, and slip stitch, and you're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yarn over. We're going to do a double crochet. Turn to the hem side. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do a double crochet. Next is still a double crochet, and the next is a half double crochet, then a single crochet, slip stitch into the same stitch, and you go to the next stitch, slip stitch, and again you chain 8. So this is kind of easy even for beginners. You just need to do that few stitch, and of course a lot of patience, because you will have a few petals to do, not just one, and you will have to cut your yarn and do another flower, unless you just want to do one flower. So this time around, this flower, I'm not gonna add wire or stick because I'm going to sew it onto the back. So you better stay tuned to see what kind of bag I'm gonna stitch this onto. And actually, it's a tote bag. And the next pose, or the next pose. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is how you go all around. Same goes for this. You do the same thing. You do the same thing here. And you make the petal and you go all around. So that's why this is how the small flower look like. And this is how the big flower look like. So even without the green part, it still look very nice. Unless if you want a green part and you want to put a stick here, then maybe you might start to do here with the green color yarn and join this part and this part with your color petal. You can do that. So these are wireless. I mean, it looks nice too if you can just leave this on the table like this. So I'm gonna finish these two flowers and I'm gonna come back with the leaf, how to do the leaf. Okay, I've reached the last part here. So far here I have 13 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, sorry, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I have 12 petals. You see there's a small gap here. You can actually make one more here, but I prefer 12. So I just go back to this stitch here. Let me do that again. It's kind of tight. I've grabbed the wrong spot. Okay. Because there's just too many yarns there. Okay, and do a slip stitch. So at the front you will see all the purple all around here. So you slip stitch to the first petal here, chain 1 and cut the yarn. And hide the yarn. Normally I will hide once around here first. And you put through like this. If you want, you can put through it again. And the balance, you just hide it inside. So instead of adding stuffing, the tail of all this yarn is enough to plumb it up. So here you just shape it around and this side will pop up, see, like this, and you have a daisy. So you do the same for the smaller one. You make one exactly like this and you make the petal around it, but this one has 7 petals, this one has 12 or 13 if you want to. So now let's do some leaves for the daisy. Okay, now let's do the daisy leaf. I'm gonna start with a chain 10. You make a knot. Okay, this is just my habit of making a knot. So once you get this knot, you're gonna chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you turn to the back, go to the second stitch from the hook. This is the first stitch, this is the second stitch. I'm going to work on the bum side. This is a V-shaped side, and this is the bum side. The top part here is the bum side. So I'm going to do single crochet on the bum side, all the way down. You should have about 9 stitches, 9 single crochet. And the last stitch here, I'm going to make 3 single crochet. So I already made 1, so I'm going to make 2 more. And by now you should be over the other side, and you continue to do single crochet. You do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and at the same time I had this tail along. After 2 single crochet, you're going to do chain 2, and you go to the next stitch, do 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch, another single crochet, and you chain 2. Go to the next stitch, do a single crochet. In fact, you do single crochet in the next 2 stitches, so it will look like this. You're gonna continue until you go back to the starting point. Since this is a turning point, I don't have to chain 2. Just continue to do single crochet. Okay, now I reach the other side. Again, chain 2. Oh, sorry, single crochet, 2 single crochet, then I chain 2, and again 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. Okay, once I reach the tip here, this tip here, the part where I did the the part where I did 3 single crochet into the same stitch. I'm going to do slip stitch until I reach the tip here. I'm going to do chain 2 and I'm going to slip stitch again. Then I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to hide my yarn. And then you have a leaf here. This is how the leaf will look like. So there's a pointing part here. And as for all these, you just hide it inside here. Hide it all along here, especially the part where we did double this part here. You're gonna hold on to the yarn, so it won't show here, not much. And the balance you can actually just cut it off. And you will have yourself a daisy leaf and some daisy, some big daisy and small daisy. So it's up to you whether you want to sew it like this, or you know, one on the left and one on the right like this, for bigger flower. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me in my next post or next post. I'm going to sew all this onto a tote bag. I'm gonna make a daisy tote bag. Earlier on I made a sunflower bag, so now I'm gonna make a daisy bag. So do stay tuned and I'll see you in my next post.